How are you? Welcome. It's Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth featuring, not me, that guy, Jeff Jr. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Rusty.
Good. Before we get started, I was kind of going,
okay,
you interrupted me. That's okay.
All right.
Before we get started, what?
How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Before we get started, make sure you go to TrajanWealth.com. That is TrajanWealth.com, and find out all the fabulous services they do here at Trajan Wealth.
Yes.
Okay, you look very professional today.
Thank you. You look good too.
Well, thank you.
You look good. I was watching some of the old videos. You've lost some weight.
He's calling me fat?
No, not fat. You've lost some weight.
Oh,
Now you're skinny.
Okay, now yes, I've been working.
Dapper.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Well,
you look good. You look good.
Yeah, so I want to do a show on bad investors because, I think about what I would do, for example. Here's for example, first of all, do you get a lot of people that come to you and go, man, I'm really messed up. I need some help?
I wouldn't say that we get people who come to us say I'm really messed up, but they do need some help. There are bad investors. I don't want to put too much pressure on people, though. If they're an investor, they're an investor. We just need to improve it a little bit.
Okay, so what I like to do is I like to watch Fox Business or CNBC, and then there'll be a news story, and then just jump right in on that one as fast as I can. That's a great idea, right?
Right, and that's a great example of a bad investor. It's kind of like what we have going on with Bitcoin. We talked about that a few episodes ago. A lot of people just see Bitcoin is going up and they have no idea what it is or what it means or what it does. I'd say probably in the entire world there's maybe only a handful of people that can really explain digital currency. Really explain it. Now, we know what digital currency is. We know the general definition, but can you really explain it? Probably not.
No.
So that's what a bad investor is. They tend to follow these trends and are very emotional about their decisions. So I'd say that's a bad investor.
Okay, I can explain how I put a whole bunch into Dogecoin and it went up, and then fortunately I sold enough to cover what I put in, and then I left it in, and now I've lost a lot.
And that doesn't necessarily, in and of itself, make you a bad investor.
What
really makes you a bad investor?
It's been bad.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a good guy. You have good intentions, and I love that about you. You're a very good intentioned guy.
It's gone down a lot.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's gonna go back up? You think?
Maybe. It's very speculative.
That's what you want to hear when you put a whole bunch of money in. Maybe.
Maybe.
Thank you, Jeff.
There's a possibility it does, and a possibility that it doesn't. Right?
Okay.
That's speculative, and anytime you deal with speculation like that, you just have no idea which direction that it's going.
Okay. Here's another great idea I have, because I'm the guy you want to follow.
You have a lot of them. I like it.
I get a whole bunch of money, and there's one stock that I really love, and I just pile it all in there.
Well, that's not, if you understand that stock and you believe in that stock.
It's just I like Mickey Mouse, so I'll put it all in Disney, for example.
So if you're going to put a lot of money into one stock, make sure that you truly understand it. Okay. And it's just not on a whim. It's just not on something that you heard on the news station or from Uncle Ernie. Don't you have an uncle like that? What's his name? Uncle
Gus is a good one.
Yeah. Uncle Gus. You get these great stock tips from Uncle Gus.
Right.
And so,
boy, I gotta tell you one thing: you got to put your money in that Dogecoin.
So if you have an Uncle Gus, probably not the right person to take recommendations to, unless he's some kind of inside guy who has a lot of information about Mickey Mouse that people may not know or understand. So
okay, so don't just put all your eggs in one basket.
Generally, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification, that's key.
Okay. How about just set it and forget it? Throw a bunch of money into a bunch of stocks and then come back in a couple of years.
If we're going to be one extreme or the other. So what I mean by one extreme is you look at it and obsess over it daily, or you're going to set it and forget it. I'd much prefer people who set it and forget it. Because otherwise, if you look at it every day, you really allow your emotions to get in the way and you just do silly things. Investors generally do very silly things, and they let their emotions override their judgment and rule their judgment. So if you just set it and forget it, you'll probably be better off in the long run than you would be if you look at it and obsess over it every day.
Would you say 4 hours a day of looking at my phone and watching it go up and down?
Your Dogecoin?
And a couple others, yeah.
Yeah, and a couple others. Haven't you learned anything with all this time that we've spent together at this point, Rusty? Huh?
Little.
You haven't learned anything.
Yes, I know. I've learned I need to start putting more money with Trajan Wealth. Is what I've learned.
If you're like Rusty, what series can you subscribe to? Can you tell the audience if they're like you, what series they?
What I would do if you want to be like me, do not subscribe to TrajanWealth.com. If you want to be like Jeff, in the nice suit, the guy that knows what he's doing, I'd subscribe to Build Your Wealth, the Trajan Wealth feature, Jeff Jr. right here. And I would go to TrajanWealth.com, right?
But watching anything on your phone for 4 hours is not healthy. You're not going to learn anything. You're not going to garner anything. I'd say put more focus on making the money so you can invest more.
Right. That's not true. Now, see, this is the first thing I'm going to disagree with you on.
Okay.
I'm going to just flat out call you out because you just said I wouldn't learn anything. I have learned to watch stocks go down, and I've seen it happen, and now I know what that looks like, and I'm an expert in it.
Right.
Yeah. Don't be like me. Be like Jeff. Subscribe to Build Your Wealth, the Trajan Wealth featuring Jeff Jr. and go to TrajanWealth.com, right?
That's right.
What would I find at TrajanWealth.com, Jeff?
A myriad of information. So you're going to find all of the services that we offer. So our full service wealth management company, and then we're also a estate planning firm. So as of January 1st, we're one of we are the first company in the state of Arizona, potentially the country, to own a law firm. So we really have a all under one roof philosophy. So we have estate planning attorneys that work within the organization, for the organization. They're not contractors, they're not hired out. What I've seen is a lot of financial advisors do is they contract out financial, they contract out not financial services, but they contract out estate planning services.
Right.
So we have wealth management, estate planning services, all under one roof. So it's a very holistic approach, and we're one of the only ones in the country who have it.
And by the way, if you're not really sure about the estate thing, we've got some in our archives. So go back into the library here on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're getting this podcast, and go back and take a listen or a look at some of the shows on estate planning. There's some great stuff that really help you understand it, things like probate and other things.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly.
All right. Well, we sure appreciate you again. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you would, please. And until next time, I'm Rusty Humphries. That's Jeff Jr. And this is Build Your Wealth with Trajan Wealth, featuring Jeff Jr.
Rusty Humphries is a paid endorser. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Estate planning services through Trajan Estate.